Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, it is really very cold in Nairobi, and I won't mind some coffee. For those who have been asking for a number to channel their support, that is the number there. Frederick Oko, I really appreciate you. Kindly subscribe to our channel if you have not subscribed, and for those who support us, thank you very much. The Azimio family is not very happy by the manner in which William Ruto is handling Raila Odinga. They say Ruto is acting with contempt against Raila Odinga. This is after this tweet that ostensibly came from William Ruto Twitter handle, where he invited Raila, just to quote, "My friend Raila Odinga, I am off to Tanzania for a human capital meeting to harmonize the expansion of employment opportunities in our continent. I am back tomorrow evening, and as you have always known, I am available to meet one-on-one with you anytime at your convenience." They say that that is a contemptuous tweet. They say Raila Odinga is a senior citizen that must not be invited for serious talks through a Twitter handle. Listen to what this is what Opio and I said. Ruto must respect Raila. Inviting him for talks through a Twitter is disrespectful. And the star record there that National Assembly Minority Leader Opio and I has expressed his disappointment with President William Ruto's invitation to opposition leader Raila Odinga through a tweet. Basically, Opio and I was speaking to the vernacular station Ramogi FM that serves the Luo nation, and he expressed his displeasure that if and when William Ruto wants to invite Raila for talks, then it must be done through proper channels. When I saw this tweet, I checked Hussein Mohammed, who is the spokesperson, and there was no such thing. They just also shared that tweet. Apparently, when there is a proper invitation, it should be through the proper channels. Maybe the government spokesperson and Ruto's sending an official olive branch so that it looks official. But this one was made through a tweet. And you all know that in social media platforms, social media is full of jokers. These are where people like Itumbi, Cheragay would always go and even insult and mock Raila Odinga. And so when William Ruto did this tweet, apparently we are made to believe that it is this tweet. I don't know. Because as I told you, I checked yesterday and it was shared by Dennis Itumbi. It was also shared by Hussein Mohammed. So I thought maybe they claim ownership or they are aware of its source. It was also a tweet that that they did when William Ruto was in Tanzania. So it behoves one to wonder why would William Ruto instruct his handlers to invite Raila officially for such talks. Remember, it is not only Opio and I. Very many Azimio supporters shared the same sentiments. Because in the first place, they don't want any talks. If you ask them, they will tell you that they have seen in the past that William Ruto is not a serious man. The first time he was in State House and addressed the whole nation, calling Raila his brother to suspend demonstrations, Raila did the same. But then we saw a very unserious president. Someone who does not take the agreement seriously, because later the position side started crying foul that the government side was not serious. We also heard of rumors of Jose Camargo within the country trying to interfere with the server because Raila had heightened the temperatures, political temperatures, and one of the demands was to open and scrutinize the server. So his was to persuade Raila to suspend the demonstrations so that he could go on with the mischief, so that by the time they even opened the server, it would be reflecting what the IEBC had given us. It was also a time-wasting process, kind of, because Raila thought this was going to be serious. They thought they were going to discuss matters that are pertinent to the nation. But at some point, it was even laughable that one of the things that they tabled as part of the discussion was that how Raila should exit active politics in Kenya, surely. Raila demanded for the server audit, the reinstatement of the Cherera 4. He wanted to be included in the proper recruitment of the IEBC commissioners, among many other things, the high cost of living to be brought down. And if you listen to what Raila has been talking of late, he's majoring on the lowering of the high cost of living. So people feel that William Ruto is very dishonest. Number two, what are people going to talk about as far as the cost of living is concerned? Because to the best of my knowledge, there are only about three things. One, the Finance Bill 2023 is going to add levy to the petroleum products. And you know that when this happens, then it's going to impact on all the other products, and the cost of living is going to be high. The basic commodities are going to be sold at very exorbitant prices. But William Ruto is hell-bent on ensuring that he increases the taxes. Already, I understand that he's very ready with another proposal to tax the automobile industry. Vehicles and cars are going to be added some levy there. And so William Ruto must bring this down even without talks with the Raila Odinga. He had promised Kenyans that this would happen. The subsidies that were removed were meant to cushion Kenyans against the high cost of living. He removed all this. Things like the deduction about the housing finance that is talking about, that you are deducted 1.5%, then later you'll own house. You all know that this is a hoax, it will not work. And we understand that it is the IMF that is pushing William Ruto. So even without sitting down with the Raila Odinga, if William Ruto is serious, then he can bring down the cost of living. He must decide to either take the Kenyan interest at heart, or is going to serve the interest of the West. And this is why Kenyans are asking, even if you wanted to speak to Raila Odinga, you don't do it through a tweet. In other words, he's not serious as usual. This is a joke. If you look at the tone of that tweet, it is a mockery to Raila Odinga. That I'm ready to meet you at your convenience. You see, look at that. This someone who has the sword, and he's the president now. The process and the way he got there still questionable, but he is the president. He's the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces. If you look at people like Cherigei and all the other quarters, they're saying they will not talk because Raila wants to get to government through the back door. That is their position, because they are so much obsessed about maintaining power. Then he's telling Raila that I'm ready to meet you at your convenience. Then you wonder, really, is this man serious? We have people who were butchered, were killed, were maimed. The government still defends their position that the police were protecting people's businesses, and they don't mind, they don't care about those who died. Even after the voices of the human rights watchdog, even the United Nations Human Rights Office talked about it, but the government would not hear anything. And so you wonder what kind of invitation he's giving Raila, yet they're not even addressing this. The constitution allows freedom of picketing, yet the government unleashed terror. They are also targeting one community, the community where Raila belongs to. When Kenyans went out holistically, without looking at their tribes, to go and lament about the high cost of living, the government decided to unleash terror in one particular community, so that they want to isolate it to look like it is a Luo affair, to show Kenya that it is Raila who is dissatisfied about an election that they say he lost, that it is Raila who is now calling upon the Luo community. And of course, already there is a conversation going on. People are asking, why would the Luo community suffer for the nation? And some are even calling Raila Odinga to call off the demonstrations forthwith, so that Kenyans can share the pain of poverty and the high cost of living, so that maybe next time other tribes would lead. But when I checked, I saw people even from Machakos, in Kisii, even in Kirinyaga and Uasin Gishu. But they want this kind of ethnic profiling so that the Luos can also feel that we are being targeted and they stop going to the streets. So the kind of tweet, the kind of invitation that Ruto gave has really infuriated the Azimio, and they feel this is utter dishonesty, and they are urging Raila not to go for it. What do you think? What advice do you have for Raila Odinga? Do you think should honor such invitation? Because at the face value, there is lack of seriousness.